know, this week freaking sucked. Everything was horrible. Every part of my week was horrible. You know what made it worse? Kalli. Everything that happened to me was the complete opposite for her. She had everything going right for her, and everything went horrible for me.
Well, this has just been the best week ever. Everything just seems to be falling into place so perfectly. I just can't imagine it being any better. Wow, I am just so blessed.
Let's start off with transportation, shall we? While I was in my Luke Acts class, somebody stole my bike. Guess what I was left with? My sister's hand-me-down. Green polka dot. Yeah, it really fits my character.
So last week my car broke down. Bummer. But good news is, my parents got me a new one.
Another reason why this week sucks, ran out of food. Milk, gone. All the food in the pantry, gone. Only thing I have left, Cheerios. Plain Cheerios. I don't get paid for another 2 weeks. Called my mom, nope, she won't give me any money either. I have no food for the next 2 weeks. Averages out to about 5 Cheerios a day.
This week, my mom sent me a package of so much food! I'm not gonna have to go shopping for a month! I'm so blessed.
What? Hello? Hello? What?
Kevin.
I can't hear you.
What are you doing?
This is the only place I get service, okay? Chill. Yeah, I still can't hear you. Hello? Oh gosh, my phone freaking sucks.
Oh, Kevin!
Oh, hey, Kalli.
Have you seen or heard about the new iPhone 4S, which I just got?
Wow.
Have you heard about the new Siri app? You can press a button and talk to it and ask for the weather, ask any little question you ever could think of, and it will answer for you, and even send your text messages. Isn't it great?
Yeah, that's so amazing, Kalli.
Thank you. I'm so blessed.
So, throughout this week, everything pretty much was horrible. Seeing Kalli's week, everything was great. Complete polar opposite of everything that I've gone through this week. Seeing all the good things that have happened to her, really easy to envy Kalli every week.
Envy, I would define as longing or desiring something someone else has. Yeah.
So I think of envy, one way I think about that is certainly seeing something that someone else has that you would like to have, but then taking that another step to, because you don't have that, you're going to destroy that for the other person. It takes steps to do that. So for example, my own college experience, a friend of mine was dating a girl that he was not dating anybody, so first of all he was sort of jealous, I think, of just me being in a dating relationship, but he wanted to date this particular girl as well. And so he went so far as to really try to sabotage my relationship with her with untruths and those kinds of things. So I would put that in the category of sort of past jealousy and into envy kind of territory.
So the difference between jealousy and envy is with envy, you have kind of a disdain for the person because of what they have and their accomplishments. So it's more of a resentment towards them. With jealousy, it's more of a want of what they have. And so you still kind of have a little resentment to like what they have, but it's not, it's more towards what you want from them rather than envy is disdain for that actual person.
I have experienced envy with friends in the past because I thought that they were better than me. But I overcame it, because if you think of envy as a sin, then you know that it's just the devil trying to get at you and make you believe his lies, when really God should put in his thoughts that you are so precious just the way you are. You shouldn't have to need what other people want or have.
I know oftentimes if I'm envious, I just have to remember that I'm blessed and to not take stuff for granted.
In 1 Corinthians chapter 3, verse 3, it says, For you are still carnal, for where there are envy, strife, and divisions among you, are you not carnal and behaving like mere men? This verse to me means envy. It goes along with strife and divisions. It goes along with the things that keep us as mortals. It takes us away from acting the way God called us to act, the way we're supposed to live as Christians. It totally will destroy us from within. Envy is one of those things that, if left undealt with, if you leave it to be, like, if you don't give it to the Lord, if you don't give all these things to the Lord, envy is one of those things that will tear you apart. It'll just continue to build, and you don't get rid of it by yourself. You have to give it up to God.
Proverbs 14:30. A tranquil heart gives life to the flesh, but envy makes the bones rot. So this just shows that if you have envy in your life, it's something that's going to be in you, and you're not going to be able to just ignore it. Like, you're going to be envious of somebody or something that they have, and it'll eventually destroy you. It's not something that you can just ignore and continue life on. Like, it is something that you need to deal with, and it's something that will kind of tear down your life in every way.
So something that I found really interesting in this book when reading about envy was learning like a correlation between envy and the Pharisees, and basically what the book was saying is this example that it was because of the Pharisees' envy of Jesus that led to his death. And I don't know, I just never had thought of it in that way. And there's a quote in this on page 108 that said, "Through the devil's envy, death entered the world." And so I just feel like I really had never thought of envy in that way before, that it's just so like detrimental, and that because the Pharisees were envious of Jesus and wanting to be him, it just led to death and destruction of something wonderful. So I just thought that was a really interesting little new fact.
So I learned a couple things about envy in this book. First of all, that God knows exactly what we need, and our desires should mainly be have a better relationship with him. That we should strive for physical growth, that we should want to help others. And obviously there's going to be people in our lives who are more fortunate than us, and we have to be like happy for our friends who do better than us. We have to keep in mind that God doesn't always give us all the same things, and that I know personally that God gives me blessings every day, and he gives each of us what he wants and what's in his will and in due time. So we have to remember that we're Christians for God's will and not for our own.
So in conclusion, we would like to share a quote that we found, which basically says, "Envy is constantly looking at something other than God to fill you up, and because of this, your heart will always have unrest." So I hope that that can just simmer in your minds, and you can think about envy and think about God and try to just go for God and not envy.